Good morning, and I am headed over to O'Reilly Chevrolet again, which I'm getting fairly used to at this point because I do it so many times every single month because my Corvette is still not fixed. I started this back in May of this year trying to get a fix for the issue that the primary issue on my Corvette Z06 here, which if you've been following my channel, you kind of know what is going on and what is happening, but they've done so many different things. I'm going to talk about that today on the drive over, but I wanted to first give you guys a little bit of backstory here. So I'm going to put some videos in here. I've been recording some video here and there, not as much as I probably should have. Well, let's take a look at that footage right now.
I just got done going with the engineer over at O'Reilly Chevrolet, Bill, and he's one of their lead technicians and actually the assistant manager over there, and he had his computer hooked up and he was getting computer reads from my Corvette while it was acting up. So what I did today is I drove around for about 40-45 minutes just around town and got the car to start acting up, doing the acceleration thing that it's been doing and neither GM nor O'Reilly Chevrolet has been able to figure out. And so I got him in the car, he had the computer hooked up, I was driving it, and I really wish that I gotten footage of that. I just didn't have any cameras with me that I could have safely had set up and recording, so I didn't get footage of that. But I can tell you that I'm driving home right now still, and it is still acting up, so I wanted to give you guys a little taste of it here. Accelerate here, and my foot is all the way to the floor right now, and then it just kicks in all of a sudden. Okay, I'm currently in 6th gear. Right now sitting at about 2,500 RPM. 6th gear, doing 76 on the highway. I'm going to put the gas pedal down. Nothing. Gas pedal is down 100% to the floor. I'm getting 0 acceleration. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It just stays at 2,500, and then right there it kicked in finally. So I don't know how many seconds that was, but like 10-some seconds sitting there waiting. It's doing it in 5th gear, it's doing it in 6th gear, and it's doing it in 7th gear. And it's worse as it gets higher in gear. So the next step is waiting for GM to respond after Bill sends all that data up to them. And Bill said he's pretty sure that the engineer is going to come back down to Tucson to test it again himself in person. Now, note, I have disabled and disconnected all aftermarket things that I added, which were not a lot, and they were nothing to do with really the engine. One was the mild to wild that I showed you in my last video. The other was the XKGlow LED lighting kit that I have on this. I not only disconnected them from the power, but I also completely removed the control modules out of the car, so there's nothing at all in this vehicle that could give those LED lights any type of power or control. I also removed my front and rear dash cam. In fact, you can see back there the cable is just dangling from the rear dash camera that I have in the car. And I disabled and disconnected my radar detector, which is completely custom built into the car. So I've disconnected, disabled, removed any aftermarket thing because I don't want to give GM any excuse or reason why it's not their fault and why they should not be fixing this.
Okay, so here we are back. I'm gonna head over to O'Reilly Chevrolet looking for an update from Chuck. I know all the guys over there. Anyway, let's get in. All right, we're in. Let's get it started up here.
During parking mode, motion detection recording 4 occurred.
Been doing lots of different troubleshooting with this car. Engineer was back down from GM corporate this past Monday, so it's been a week since the engineer was down here, and in spite of the fact that I had gone with the lead service tech here at the local O'Reilly Chevrolet dealership and had reproduced the problem of the power loss, and he had done all the data logs. He had his laptop plugged right into my computer at the time. The engineer at GM claims he never got that information, or actually he got the file, but he claimed he couldn't open it, and I guess he just didn't bother to have Bill resend him the file or try to get it open. So, long story short, I am headed over to O'Reilly right now to try to get an update from Chuck, because it's now been a week since Mike from GM came down and he tried for about 2 hours, he said, to get the car to replicate the issue, and he just could not get it to replicate it. So Chuck from O'Reilly called me last Monday, had me come down to O'Reilly, and I took the GM engineer himself out with me driving it, and I was able to get it to replicate the issue of the power loss in multiple gears for him while he had his computer logged in. So they've had that data now for a week, and I have yet to get an update from Chuck with a possible fix. One of the big reasons why I am kind of starting to stress here is the fact that the SEMA show, where my Corvette is going to be featured at the XKGlow booth, thus the decals that I've got on the side of the car right now, that event is coming up very, very quickly. And I would really like to drive my car up there to the SEMA show rather than have to trailer it up there. So we shall see. Now, some of you might be saying, well, it looks like you're driving your car just fine right now, so what's the big deal? The big deal is the fact that it starts happening only after the car has heated up for a while. So when it's about 100 degrees outside here in Arizona, it starts to do it. After I've driven the car for about 40 minutes to an hour, it definitely starts to do it. And once it starts doing it, it gets progressively worse and worse and worse, to the point where I'm practically babying it, because I've gone as much as 15 seconds, like illustrated in that video, before the power kicks on in the car. And one thing you might have noticed in that video that I showed you a clip of driving back from Phoenix was the fact that it would stay right at 2,500 RPMs and not kick in no supercharge, no PSI, pressure at all in the supercharger. Nothing. It just sits at 2,500 RPMs. So it's not like the car isn't moving. It is in gear, it is going forward, but there is no power, there's no thrust, there's no supercharger until it decides, oh yeah, hey, he's got the pedal all the way to the floor, I should accelerate. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Getting really quite tired of it, to be frank, because, like I said, I started this back in May. I get that Chuck, Bill, Ray, all the guys here at the local O'Reilly Chevrolet are getting pretty frustrated, and they've even started talking to me about the idea of just trading this vehicle in for a new Corvette. Of course, any Corvette enthusiast will know I can't get a brand new Corvette Z06 with a Z07 performance package because the plant is shut down. So unless I can find one, then I'm kind of out of luck when it comes to trying to replace this car with a brand new one. Of course, it's not like they would just give me that brand new one. I would have to trade this vehicle in, which they have stated, of course, that they would give me a fair trade-in value on this car as if it was perfectly working, because of the fact that it's completely under warranty still, and I have not done anything to void the warranty, thank goodness. But that's kind of where I'm at. I love my car. I love the way it is. I love how I have it currently set up. I don't want a brand new one at this point. If I'm going to get a brand new one, I'd really prefer to, say, have a C8 or a ZR1, which would feel like more of an upgrade than just swapping it out for a brand new one. With the exception of the fact that I personally actually would not mind switching to a 8-speed automatic transmission. I love manual, I've always loved manual, but at the end of the day, the fact that you can accelerate fast do a lot of in-town driving, so it does get a little bit tiresome to have to shift all the time, and it would be kind of nice to have that automatic. So that's one consideration. The other consideration is that my current Corvette is a 2015 Corvette, which means it did not have the upgraded HMI head unit for the infotainment system, which means it does not have the projection feature, which would allow me to have Apple CarPlay. Minor detail there, but if I could get a 2016 or a 2017 year, it would have that Apple CarPlay ability. So just another consideration there that would be like kind of nice to have that. One other consideration that's really kind of motivating me at this point, and like I said, O'Reilly has been really kind of pushing for me just to trade this vehicle in for a new one, so that they don't have to deal with this issue anymore, and then kind of just throw the car back at GM and have them resolve it. Because from what I understand, it's a pretty long process to try to get GM to the point where they just say, hey, we're going to buy this car back from you. We can't figure out what's wrong with it. We don't know what's wrong with it. So the other consideration is the fact that the 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on this specific Corvette Z06 is up in January. The original owner of this car took delivery of this car January of 2015. Therefore, the 3-year bumper-to-bumper is going to be up next January. Coming up very, very soon. It's currently October. Wow. September is gone. It's currently we're in October of 2017. So I'm running out of time on this bumper-to-bumper warranty, which part of me was looking forward to not having the warranty issue anymore, and I can just do whatever I want with the car and not care about the warranty. But at this rate, I'm kind of holding on to that warranty, because for the last 4 months that they've been doing all this troubleshooting, I have not had to pay a dime, of course, for any of the things that they have tried, including the expensive swapping out of the ECM. They completely switched out the ECM in this car, still did not resolve the issue. So here we are at O'Reilly Chevrolet Service Center. So we're gonna get out there and have a chat with Chuck. Chuck has already asked me not to record inside the service center, so see you guys when I get back. Well, that was completely a waste of time at this point. Yeah, Chuck did not have any information. He just basically said that he's emailed Mike, the engineer, 3 times. Last he heard from him was last Friday, but that Mike had told him that he basically just hadn't looked through it yet, which I just think is complete BS, because when I rode with him last Saturday, he knew the urgency of trying to get in resolution on this thing, and he knows that I'm like stressing now because of the SEMA show coming up. And Chuck said, Chuck's a really nice guy, but you can tell he's frustrated that here I am walking in. He said he meant to call me first thing this morning, which of course did not happen. So I've kind of stopped calling into the service center. I just drive down here and walk right into Chuck's office. I don't know if, that's totally cool or acceptable, but at this point, on a pretty personal level with these guys down here. And again, they've been super nice, super accommodating, but at this point I need answers and I need my car fixed. It's been 4 months. But while I'm here, I happen to see a Corvette Z06 over here up on the thing and wanted to come check it out. There it is right there. So let's check this thing out. This is, oh wow, it is a Corvette Z06 with the Z07 performance package. Sitting up here. Yeah, this is, they've got it listed as $16,000 off. $16,000 off. It is a 2016. I wonder if it's brand new or not. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine that it would be brand new, considering it's a 2016, but it is definitely a Z07 performance package upgrade, because you've got the aero kit, you've got the stage 3 wicker bill there. Little Grasshopper. Hi, Mr. Grasshopper. Mr. Grasshopper, can you tell me anything about this Corvette? No? Nothing? Is it brand new? Don't know. Mr. Grasshopper does not know. Definitely looks like it's been driven, so I'm not sure that this thing is brand new. Let's take a look. Oh, it's got the extra glass roof in there, and it's got the carbon fiber roof as well. So this has got the dual package, the dual roof package, which was another upgrade. This is a pretty loaded Corvette. Based on the steering wheel, has competition racing seats, but based on the steering wheel, my guess this is a 3LZ Z06 with the Z07 performance package. And from what I can see there, the screen, the infotainment system screen, still has the plastic on the screen. So that would be a pretty good indication that this is a brand new Z06 that they just have not sold. I wonder what the story is on this. This would be very interesting to look up. Because as you can see right there, it's got the upgraded interior, stickers on the screen. The one major drawback to this car is it's white. I hate white. I just hate white. Let me know if you guys think in the comments down there. Let me know what you guys think about this car right here. Should I swap out my 2015 Z06 for this one? This is a 2016, which means that it would have the upgraded HMI unit in it, and it's automatic. It is the 8-speed automatic transmission. 8-speed automatic transmission on this Z06 with the Z07 performance package. It's essentially my car, 1 year newer, 3LZ instead of a 2LZ, and it does have a dual roof. It's got the carbon fiber, exposed carbon fiber roof panel, and it has the competition racing seats, which my car currently has. It is white, but you know, wraps do amazing things these days, so I'm not completely opposed to the wraps. One other detail here that this car has that mine did not as a 2015, it's got the front curb cameras. The front curb cameras, which are kind of nice. My car does not have those as a 2015. So yeah, this is an interesting vehicle to be sitting right here right now. So I am going to try to get some info on this car and see what the scoop is on this car. Dude, what we have here, it's a ZL1, Camaro ZL1 2018. It's looking really sharp. It's a beautiful ZL1. Sharp. I've not tested a ZL1, but I know they're pretty fast. Still could take them in my Z06, but same engine, same supercharge. So either test driving it or taking delivery of it, actually, because it is brand new 2018. I'd be surprised if they just had that on the lot here. Man, I love my color. I really love the color on my Z06. If I were to swap it out for another one, I don't know that I would actually go with a white one with a wrap on it, so we'll see. Kind of feel like I should follow this ZL1 out over here as he's taking delivery and kind of show him which is which in terms of Z06 Corvette or the ZL1 Camaro. There's that ZL1 again. There's that Z06 again. So I'm gonna call my my contact Carlos, who's the sales manager here, and see what the scoop is on that. It's a little bit tempting. Not sure that I'd do it, but I have to admit, it is tempting to explore the option of just swapping out vehicles. It looks like they're really motivated to move that one, which I can imagine they would be. It's a 2016. If it's a brand new 2016, then they are going to be very motivated to move that car off that lot. So I will get the story on that and report back to you guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here if you have not, to get any updates on my car. I am determined to get a solution on my car, so like, comment below, let me know what you guys think. Just another update here for my Z06, and let me know what you think. Should I get rid of my Z06, my 2015 Z06, or should I hold on to it and try to get this issue resolved? And that is telling me that I need to put my seatbelt on. Shame on me. Later, guys.
They've had cases before, I don't know if it's exact cases or not, as to where there's actually an air pocket within the cooling system. And if in fact that gets to a certain area to where the sensor doesn't pick up correctly, it will do similar items as to that. It will basically assume that because it's not getting any readings that it could be overheating and shut down systems. Now, one thing about that is, obviously, it is typically after it's been run good, and it's hot. So, I mean, I see a little bit of correlation with that. Me personally, I don't know how much I buy into that, but it's something that we need to check out. It's just a matter of just pretty much purging the cooling system and ensuring that there's no pockets in it. They're harder than heck to try to get all air out of the system. Has anybody been in the system as far as like the intake or in the cooling system, a water pump or anything that you've had it?
No, haven't touched that at all.
Okay, because usually that's when it ends up getting, introduced. A lot of times gravity will take care of it itself, but if, there are a lot of occasions too that I've seen. I understand what they're talking about, and it's something that's valid that we need to look at. The only other thing is they're talking about hooking up what's called a control tech, which is a box that actually goes through your OnStar and directly talks to the engineers in Detroit. So that tells me that they didn't see what they needed to see apparently on the data.
SEMA show is in a few weeks, less than 3 weeks. I just never imagined that back in May we'd be in this position where I'm supposed to be driving the show to the SEMA show in 3 weeks and talking about air in the coolant line, which I don't buy into that either, and a monitoring box that's not going to do anything different than what all the data that Mike pulled when it was actually acting up.
Well, that was my assumption.
They don't know what in the world's going on.
Well, obviously they don't. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
That's what I don't get. I mean, Mike already got all that data and watched it while it was going on.
I don't get it either, Mike.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know as I totally buy into that, nor do I buy into the coolant.
Yeah, that absolutely doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I can kind of see where they're coming from on that. What you're telling me is exactly what I told Michael. I don't know how much I buy into that, because to me, it's zero acceleration, which I understand if it would impede it, but why wouldn't there be any kind of limp mode or something involved? Right. The fact that there's no acceleration, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, even if, in fact, it took out the supercharger.
Right.
You would still have your normally aspirated without assistance that should be picking up.
Right.
So,
it wouldn't
as
be stuck
engineers, I have a hard time understanding that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be stuck at 2,500 RPM and not even move from 2,500
Same thing
RPM.
I told them. There are a lot of people actually involved with us back east.
Did you happen to talk to Carlos like you said you were going to?
I actually talked to the dealer. With everything involved, I mean, I don't know why GM wouldn't want to make some concessions on that. I don't know. I feel bad that you have to take that step, but now we are running out of time.
Yeah, I'm just, I've been trying to just remain calm through this whole thing, but it's, I mean, yeah, worst case scenario, I could trailer the car up to the SEMA show and let it sit there for the show and trailer it back. But I'm really, quite frankly, just tired of this being my life with this car. My wife's getting tired of it. I agree. I'm just at the point where I want a car that I can get into confidently that it's going to run every single day, like the car that I'm paying for.
I agree. And I've told everybody, including the dealer, that you're the most patient individual I've ever met in my life.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, I'm serious on that. I feel horrible about the whole thing. I just wish I had more things I could do to get it going. But I'll pursue this further with Petrosky.
Okay.
On this end, and then I will put together as much data as I can, and I'll get it to my dealer and let him know what kind of haste we need to be doing with this.
Okay.
Now, if in fact something was to happen where you were to get this other car, are you going to have to wrap it?
Yeah.
Or put stripes on it?
I'll have to wrap it.
Is that something that takes quite a bit of time?
That's part of my dilemma. Yeah, it's about a 3-day job, and I got to take it back to Phoenix.
Okay. All right. I'll get right on it.
Yep. I appreciate everything you could do for me, Chuck.
Okay. I'll
Thanks.
talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Bye.